Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to today's live stream. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Yes, guys, I am back on today's live stream because we had some information that wasn't readily available as at yesterday. Okay, so this is a continuation of yesterday's live stream that I did about Chidinma's arrest in South Africa and arraignment at the courts over there in South Africa. All right, guys. So I will just give you guys some time to come into the show. Yeah, let me give you guys some time to come into the show before I read out the new facts that we'll just find out about Chidinma's arrest and subsequent arraignment in court. Okay, so you're coming in, like this live stream, like and share. Okay, I just shared as well. Like and share. Like and share so this live stream can get to can be recommended by YouTube, because most times if you don't like YouTube might not recommend the live stream. So it's very, very important that you always like the live stream. Okay, please click on the like button, just double tap on your screen or just go to the like button and click on it. Okay, it doesn't take anything away from you. All right, so now let's get into the gist. Yesterday I mentioned that Chidinma was arrested. Yesterday I wasn't really clear about the details. If you look at the live, if you heard or if you listen to the live stream yesterday that I did, I wasn't really clear about the details. I just said, okay, I just read out the few details that I got, the information that I got or that I saw online. Okay, so other news outlets have started, you know, they've started publishing what actually happened with Chidinma, because you guys remember that Chidinma went back to South Africa last year after before she handed over her crown. She left to back to South Africa. Oh, guys, just allow me to do my live stream. Okay, sorry guys. So Chidinma went back to South Africa to continue, with her life. And I think that was either September, July, August last year. She went back before she was able to hand over her crown. And we all know the controversies that happened, and she fell out with the Silverbird organization and she had to go back. I was thinking that Chidinma would obviously go back and come back to Nigeria, maybe go back and bring back her son back to Nigeria, or she would just, arrange some things in South Africa, then come back to Nigeria. That was my thoughts. But she went back to South Africa without, any closure here in Nigeria. She just went back and she just started, saying she's not coming back to Nigeria, blah, 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 blah. She has found her peace and all that. So she didn't even come out to let us know what actually happened. She didn't address the situation with Silverbird. She just did an online, how would I put it, online handing over ceremony. That's what she did on her page. Yes, that's what she did. So as after the handover ceremony she did on her page, everybody moved on. Now we had a new queen. Miss Universe came, another Miss Universe came, and moved on with their life. So we just assumed, oh, she's back to South Africa. Maybe she's going back to to study and to be with her family. So um, nobody followed up on her again. We thought, oh, that issue had been resolved by between her and the Home Office, or probably she has gone to resolve the issues and all that. Only for us to get this information that she is currently facing deportation back to South Africa, back to Nigeria. And I'm like, facing deportation, how come? Why is she going through all this? What happened? I thought she had sorted out this before, and the information that we gathered yesterday was that she was arrested because she did she because she had illegal status in the country, like her status was no longer legal. And apparently, according to what we heard, um, she appeared before the Cape Town Regional Court on June 9 after being arrested in the Summer Green area. She was released on warning and is expected to return to court on July 16th as immigration authorities continue legal proceedings seeking her deportation. So obviously, this is not the first time that she's had this. This issue has been lingering on for some time, and she was arrested on June 9th. Okay, that was some weeks back, and we're just getting to know about this. Okay, so now it went further to say, according to court documents, immigration officer Adrian Jackson said officials found Adesina and her minor son during an investigation and determined that neither currently holds valid legal status to remain in South Africa. So obviously, they caught her with her son. You guys know that she never mentioned anything about her son, but we later found out that she has a son, and the son was with her mom. So obviously that's why she had to go back to South Africa to be with her son. Okay, so now they concluded that she had no legal residential status and to remain in South Africa. So now Jackson further said that officials interviewed Adesina and searched the department records before concluding that she has no lawful residential status. He asked the court to confirm her detention for deportation. You can imagine. So she's been there's likelihood that she might be deported. He said the case follows an earlier decision by Home Office Minister Dr. Leon Schreiber, who in March earlier this year dismissed the application to review the refusal of her request for a letter of good cause. So obviously, Chidinma had already filed prior to this. Chidinma filed a petition. So she filed an application in March this year that to review. Oh, sorry, she filed an application earlier this year in March for a letter of good cause. So obviously that letter of good cause was for her to remain in the country, to have legal status in South Africa. Okay, that was the application she made earlier in March. And according to what we are reading now, that application was refused by Home Office. Refused by the Minister of Home Affairs, rather. So, according to the minister, Adesina was informed in September 2024 of plans to cancel her and her son's South African identity documents, but failed to respond. That's the information I want to give to you guys today. Because, like I mentioned, like they mentioned earlier in March, she filed an application that they should give her a letter of good cause to remain in the country. But before that, according to the minister, before that application she filed in March, she was told in September 2024. That was last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, almost 2 years now. And as of that September, I think Chidinma was already in Nigeria contesting for Miss Universe Nigeria. Okay, so she was already informed in 2024 that they were going to cancel her and her son's South African identity document. That's what they told her in 2024. They are going to cancel hers and her son's what they call it, identity documents. But she failed to respond. She did not respond to that warning that they gave to her initially on the September 2024. And I remember that time we were clamoring for her that, oh, please, you have to, Chidinma, you have to respond to whatever is happening between she and the mom and and the whole identity issue, but she failed to respond. And now, according to what the minister is saying, that they already warned her that they're going to cancel her passport. That was in 2024, and she did not respond. She didn't do anything about it. She kept quiet. She had a long year to for her reign here in Nigeria. At least from Nigeria, she would have been able to do something about that issue and say, "Oh, please, see my condition. Oh, please try and help out." Nothing like that. She didn't say anything. She just kept quiet. Her mom too didn't say anything. They kept quiet. Her dad, I don't know what really happened. The dad and the mom just kept quiet. They did not help her to sort this whole issue out. You know, even when they had warnings that they were going to cancel her identity documents, cancel her and that of her son's identity document. They're going to cancel it. They didn't do anything about it. They kept quiet. They kept mum. Anyway, going further, the minister further alleged that she obtained a Nigerian passport before applying for a South African visitor's visa, which was rejected after officials claimed she submitted a fraudulent bank statement. Like, seriously, what is actually going on? Who is Chidinma? I don't know. Remember I said then that she needed a good lawyer, an immigration lawyer that will help her to sort all these things out. I don't know why she didn't get a lawyer. A lawyer would have been able to help her out to sort all these issues. A good immigration lawyer would have been able to help her. And she had the funds to do that. At least from Nigeria here, at least I know some persons that will actually help her to get that thing done. If she actually wanted to go back, because I was thinking, oh, she was not going to go back, maybe probably from Nigeria, she would travel out to another country and start her life afresh. But her going back to South Africa was a blunder, a huge blunder. Anyways, let's not digress. Like I said before, she had initially obtained a Nigerian passport. Of course, as a Nigerian, she will have a Nigerian passport now. So she now applied for a South African visitor's visa, which was rejected after the officials claimed she submitted a fraudulent bank statement. You can imagine they claimed that Chidinma submitted a fraudulent bank statement, which is very bad. All these things will actually dent her record. If you're not straight when it comes to immigration and all these things, it's going to affect your record. Then he said she did not appeal the decision and was later declared a prohibited person under South African immigration laws. You can imagine. She didn't appeal that decision. Like she was just nonchalant about the whole thing. That's what I found out now. She was really, really nonchalant about the whole thing. Even when she had room for appeal, or room to appeal rather, she refused to appeal. She just continued as if that was she just continued like that without appealing, without seeking for help, without seeking for legal help, without getting a lawyer. Nothing. She just kept quiet. Okay, now further, the minister also alleged that Adesina later entered South Africa through the Limpopo border from Mozambique. You can imagine, she now went and entered South Africa illegally through Mozambique. After the whole issue that has been going on, she now went to enter South Africa through Mozambique, through a Limpopo border from Mozambique. Oh my God. Okay. So while presenting herself as a South African citizen, he added that her son's immigration status depends on her. Of course, now, that's why I said that I don't know why her parents are not really doing anything about this whole issue, because Chidinma's son's immigration status depends on her as well, because they will look at it that, oh, the mother does not have status, that means the child will not have status as well. That is how the immigration law in South Africa works. So I can't even start comparing Nigeria and South African law, because they are two different things. So you have to adhere, you have to obey the rules and regulations of the particular country where you are resident in. That's how it works. That's how it works. I can't start comparing Nigerian law to South African law, because of course they are two different things, and you have to obey the laws of the country where you are residing in, which she didn't do. She had room to appeal, she refused to appeal. I don't know, she caused all these things herself. Now, finally, as part of her release conditions, Adesina must remain at the address where she was arrested and notify immigration authorities of any changes to her residence. employment or movement while the case is pending. Okay, so the case is still pending in court, and for according to what they said during her bail conditions, because before you are granted bail, there must be a condition to it. Okay, so according to her bail conditions, she must remain at the address of which she was arrested, so that they can easily identify, or they can easily locate her. And also, if she wants to change address, she has to notify the authorities if she's changing address, her employment status, movement, wherever she's going to, she has to now notify the authorities. So she's no longer a free um, citizen, or free. She's no longer free in South Africa. So whatever movement, whatever movement she makes, whatever she's employed, whatever she goes to, she must notify the authorities. If she change address, her home address, she must notify the authorities. If she takes a new employment, or she changes her workplace, she must notify the authorities. If she's going to somewhere, authorities must be aware that she's traveling or she's doing anything. So as it is right now, she's not really free. And like I mentioned, these are the new facts that have been merged in this particular ongoing case. Okay, so the case is still pending in the courts. And according to what I just read out, the next adjourned date is on July 16th. Okay, so she's going to appear in court on the 16th of July, for the case. So it's still a pending case, and if found guilty, she will be deported. Okay, according to what I heard, that deportation proceedings have started. Okay, so it depends on the court now if she's found guilty, and if they finally find her guilty, she is going to be deported back to Nigeria. Okay, I don't know if it's back to Mozambique or back to Nigeria at this point. I'm not sure, because I'm not privy to the details of the warrant of arrest, or the details of arrest. Okay, so I don't know if she's going to be deported to either Nigeria or Mozambique at this point, because according to what they are saying now, that she illegally entered South Africa through the Lembobo border in Mozambique. Okay, after she was found guilty and all that, which I really fault her. Like, if you really want to go into the country illegally, why now going through? Why are you going through Mozambique border? Why are you entering South Africa like a thief in the night through Lembobo border? Why? You know. Honestly, a lot of persons are blaming her, because they are blaming her that she did not do the right thing. Why did she go back to South Africa? And South Africa now is very, very there's a lot of violence taking place, or there's a lot of issues that is currently happening in South Africa, xenophobic attacks and all that. So all these things are going against her at this point, and I'm really, really, it's really a sad one. It's really a sad one, because Nigerians are already leaving South Africa because of the hostile environment. So it's everything currently going on is working against her. Like, it's not in her favor at all. And a lot of persons are blaming her, that why did she go back to South Africa? Why did she not do the right thing, even while she had time to appeal? According to what the minister and the authorities have said, they warned her several times that they were going to cancel her identity, and she refused to appeal. She refused to respond. She kept quiet. She was just nonchalant about the whole thing, And I'm really, it's really, really sad, because at this point, I don't think people should even pity Chidinma at this point, because with what I'm seeing so far, she caused everything by herself. Like, she did not do the right thing. She just was nonchalant about the whole thing. If she had done the proper thing, I don't think it would have gotten to this point. It wouldn't have gotten to this point at all. It's so sad, oh. It's so sad, guys, because all this information I've gathered so far is not looking good at all. It's not looking good at all. As a lawyer myself, I know how it is when you're having immigration issues, in a country where you're not wanted. It's difficult for her. It's difficult. It's going to be difficult for her. Everything is against her at this point. All the evidences are pointing to the fact that she went in illegally again after they've had issues with her mom's identity. She went back to South Africa, through the Mozambican border without proper documentation. She didn't really do the right thing. And at this point, I don't feel pity for her, honestly, because there were room for her to appeal those decisions that they took. If you're watching from the beginning of this live stream, I mentioned all the things that happened, the new facts that have emerged. But as of yesterday, I was not really clear about the situation. But now that we've gotten some details, I decided to come on here and share it with you guys. So if you're watching and you want to join in the conversation, click on the link in the description box and join in the conversation. Let us know your thoughts on this particular issue, because right now I'm even faulting Chidinma's parents because they are just quiet in this whole thing. They're not even helping their daughter out, and the fact that her son too stands to be deported from South Africa. It's a very, very shameful thing. I really feel it's a thing of shame, actually, because I thought that all these issues have been resolved, and her parents are just being quiet about the whole situation. They're not saying anything about it. They're allowing her to pass through this whole stress alone. They're allowing her to go through this whole stress alone. They're not saying anything about it. And at some point, I also came out and told you guys that her mom was arrested. That was last year or so. Her mom was arrested by South African authorities, and we didn't hear anything about the whole arrest thing, what really happened with her, if they released the mother. There was no other information aside from the fact that Chidinma's mother was arrested last year. But now it is now Chidinma that is suffering you know, um, the whole sins of her parents. That's just the truth. Because her parents now they are just helpless at this point. They can't help her. So she has to be the one to sort herself out. But why I'm just angry about the whole situation now, Chidinma had a lot of time to sort this whole matter out. She had a lot of time to appeal the decision of the Home Office. She had a lot of time to sort this thing out when they warned her initially in 2024 that they were going to cancel her identity. Why did she work on all these things before now? Okay, now she went back to South Africa last year. That was in September or July, if I'm not mistaken. She went back to South Africa July last year. July last year to this is almost a year. So why didn't she sort all this thing out while she was in South Africa? Why didn't she, look for ways, seek the services of a good lawyer, a good immigration lawyer to help her to squash this whole thing? There would have been a way for her to be able to sort this whole thing out. But no, she was nonchalant about it. She wasn't responding to the authorities. She felt, oh, she was a free bird. And in all these things, she's not really coming out to say anything and say, okay, see what I'm going through or something. At least one or two persons can help you. They say a closed mouth is a closed destiny sometimes. I'm not saying you should tell your problems to the whole world. I'm not saying you should go and be telling people your own personal problems, but this is a public issue. We all know about this issue. It's not like we are hiding it. You're not hiding this problem. It's a problem that has come to the public. The public knows about this problem. So why not come out and solicit for help and say, please, guys, help me out. Look at what I'm passing through. Look at what I've done so far. You never can tell people that will help you. But you decided to suffer in silence. Kept quiet. She didn't just, do anything about it. She was just nonchalant about it. A lot of persons I've seen a lot of comments. People are not even they're just like she caused it herself. Why did she go back to South Africa? Why did she not stay back in Nigeria, or why did she not sort out the issue before going back to South Africa? A lot of persons are not even happy with her, and they're not even pitying her at this point, because when they pity, she know they pity herself. First when they pity, she know they pity herself. She dey pity herself, and she's a law student for that matter. She's a law student. At least she should have an idea of how the law works in South Africa. So I don't really understand why she just decided not to do anything about it. she became nonchalant about the whole situation. I don't know. I'm just not understanding why she didn't really do anything about it. It's so painful. It's so painful. So that's just the new fact that I've emerged. So let me read some comments. Um, some comments about it. That is it. He said somebody was saying that in all of this brouhaha during the Miss Universe thingy, had expected her to just try relocating abroad or something. Don't let some people hurt you or your family. Exactly. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Remember, I said this thing that she would have just relocated to another country, out of Africa, out of Nigeria, like just go out of South Africa, out of the continent at all. Leave to Europe, leave to US. I said it before. She can't come going back to South Africa was a really bad move for her. It was a bad move. And with what's currently going on in South Africa, hmm, the odds are against her. The odds are against her. Like South Africans, they don't want to see Nigerians at all. There's a war. That's a let me not use the word. There's the violence and conflict in South Africa right now is something else. The conflict in South Africa right now is something else. You know. Okay, so I said the comments are driven by emotion, not facts. You can feel sorry for her while acknowledging the law. She wasn't eligible for South African citizenship because neither parent was a citizen, and her mother used fraudulent document to obtain her ID. If that's true, what other legal outcome would you expect besides deportation? Exactly. That's the problem. Nigeria, like I said, I cannot compare South African law to Nigerian law. So, you have to respect the laws of whatever you're resident or whatever you're staying in. If you're resident in a particular country, you have to respect their laws when it comes to immigration. Okay, so now this commenter is saying that neither of Chidinma's parents are citizens. Okay, so it doesn't give her that right to obtain to get a citizen, and besides, her mom obtained the ID by fraudulent means. So they don't that one is clear because of course they can't give her citizenship. Because none of her parents are citizens. This one said, before you jump into conclusion, remember she lived in South Africa all her life. Her friends and the people she grew up with are probably still in South Africa. The same way it's not easy for Nigerians with a honest living who have been paying 40% of their income for many years as tax in South Africa to just pack up and leave. These are critical life changing decisions, and let us not be too quick to judge and criticize. Of course, I understand where this commenter is coming from. We shouldn't be too judged to criticize. We shouldn't be too fast to criticize her and all that. But if you know that that they warned you about your status, why go back to that country? That's just my own bone of contention here. Because she was already warned in 2024 that her status was not clear, that we're going to cancel her status. Then why did she go back there? Why did she go back to South Africa? Forget about your friends. I know she lived her life in South Africa. She had friends. She had memories there. But a country that don't want you, why did you go back there? Because of course they don't want her. They've made it clear that they don't want you, don't want her, and she went back to the same country and stayed for months. Of course, you wouldn't stay there and be free now, because of course they are telling you that you have illegal status in their country. You are staying in the country illegally. So they have every right to want to deport her back. But my own point of contention now is that are they going to deport her to Nigeria or to Mozambique? Because for me, I think I don't know at this point. Are they going to deport her back to Mozambique if found guilty? Are they deporting her back to Mozambique or back to Nigeria? because according to what they said, she came in through Mozambique illegally. Again, when she was coming back to South Africa, you can imagine she didn't even take a direct flight to South Africa. She went through Mozambique. Ah, this lady, I don't know who is advising her. I don't know who is advising Chidinma. I don't know the people that are advising her, but they're not doing the right thing at all. They're not doing a good job at all. They didn't do a good job to advise her properly, and they did not tell her they would have advised her to seek the counsel of an immigration lawyer over there in South Africa. At least the lawyer would have helped her to process her documents, and they would have given her some conditions. Even if it's just a temporary stay, pending while she sort herself out, they would have been able to sort something out for her, giving her a temporary stay, pending when she sorts herself out. All these things, she would have done them with an immigration lawyer over there in South Africa. I will help her to sort these things out. But she just kept quiet. She kept mum. She didn't really care, and now she's getting the repercussions of her attitude. Of her nonchalant nature. She didn't say anything. She just kept quiet. That's it's quite sad. It's quite sad, guys. Like it's not the news I was expecting. I thought by now Chidinma would have learned her lesson, moved on to move out of go to a different country and start her life over. Try and sort all these things out, because now she's getting back into the news for the wrong reasons. And a lot of Nigerians now they don't even they pity her again, because they look and say, when you were in Nigeria, when you left Nigeria without a goodbye, like she left without saying a proper goodbye. The organization that brought her to Nigeria, she did not properly hand over the crown. She was just so ungrateful after everything that they did for her. She forgot about the love that she received here in Nigeria. She went back to South Africa and ridiculed the whole nation. Yes, she ridiculed Nigerians by what she did, that online handover she did. She ridiculed Nigerians, and a lot of Nigerians are saying that this is karma for her. What she did and how she paid us back, paid Nigeria evil for good. And now look at what she's going through. If she had not severe ties with Nigeria, if she had done it in a good way, the way she severed ties with Nigeria, it wasn't, a lot of persons are not really happy with her. So now they can't even help her. Nobody, a lot of persons are saying, well, she caused everything herself, So nobody wants to help her. Everybody's just like blaming her for everything, and nobody wants to help her at this point. Some Nigerians are really, really angry with the way she left, so she's not really getting that much positive response from Nigerians at this point. You know, it is well. Somebody said, "What is she doing there? She has the opportunity to be anywhere in the world, and she still went to a place where she was humiliated." Exactly. That's my own another point again. I'm saying that she had the opportunity to go anywhere in the world. That during her reign as Miss Universe Africa and Oceania, she would have been able to travel to any part of the world and be able to look for ways of settling down in Europe or America or the US or even Asia. But she just, I don't know why she went back to South Africa where she was humiliated. You can imagine the humiliation she faced that time when before Nigeria opened their arms to her. When Nigeria opened their arms to her, what did she do? What did she do? She bites the fingers that fed her. She beats the fingers that fed her. And this is what look at what she's going through now. Look at what she's passing through now. Nobody wants to help her. Nobody is saying anything. Everybody's just like, oh, You did it on yourself. Like you caused your problem yourself. You just carry your cross. Now you're telling her to carry her cross by herself. That's what they're saying now. She should carry her cross. Hey, my God. It is well, oh. It is well. Anyway, let's see what happens because this is, like I said, the case is still in court, and the next date for hearing will be on the July 16th. So let's see how it's going to play out. I hope that she gets a good lawyer to defend her. I hope that she gets a good lawyer that will stand for her and help her out, get a temporary residency and all that. Because if she's actually or eventually deported, oh my God, if she's eventually deported back to either Nigeria or Mozambique, it's the bad one on her record. Though. It's not a good one for her record at all. Like it's not a good one for her records to be, stained with that kind of, it's not good for her record at all. Yes, guys. So that's it for today's live stream. I just wanted to come and give you guys the updates as to what has been going on and the new facts that have emerged in this ongoing discussion and the ongoing story that is still unfolding. Okay. So, guys, I'll see you all in another live stream. If you're going to be watching this live stream, comment down your thoughts on what has been going on and what you think about this whole Chidinma scandal, Chidinma's issue, Chidinma's, you know, this whole issue. What do you think about it? Because for me personally, I blame Chidinma for going back to a country that don't want you. Because for me, I wouldn't have even gone back. I won't even bother myself going back to that country. I'm telling you guys, I won't bother myself going back to that country because the only thing I wanted her to do, I was thinking, oh, she would just take her son and leave. But she stayed back despite the warnings from the Home Office and from the authorities. She would have just taken her son and come back to Nigeria, then look for a way to move to a better country. I don't know. Anyways, let us know your thoughts, and I'll see you all in another live stream. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. And yes, this is an ongoing story or unfolding story. So if I hear any more information or if I get more information, I will come out here and give you guys. I'll come out here and let you guys know what is actually going on, the latest news in this, and also other pageant gist as well. Okay, so thank you guys and good night. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow, or I don't know when I'm going to stream again. When am I going? I have other topics I want to discuss. So I have some other topics I want to discuss. You know, it's not really easy for me to now sit down and be doing a video and be editing. Live stream is easier for me to come and do. That's just the truth. But I will try as much as possible to film other content. There's so many other contents that are coming up. Like Miss Supranational, Mr. and Miss Supranational coming up next month. So we have a lot on our hands. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And like I said, pin down your thoughts on this particular issue. What do you think about this? And let us know your thoughts. If you're going to be watching the live stream, let us know your thoughts on this. So let's know what you think about Chidinma's actions and about the allegations that have been levied against her. And what do you think about the deportation? If finally she's deported back to, she's deported, which country do you think she should go back? She'll be deported back to. Is it Nigeria or is it Mozambique? Okay, because of course those are the two countries that she also has a citizenship with. Okay, so it's either she's deported to Nigeria or she's deported to Mozambique, either of these two countries, because she already has a passport with them. All right, guys, let us know your thoughts, and I'll see you all in another live stream. Good night, everyone, and bye for now.